So hey people, in this video I'm going to show you how to solve the 3x3x3 Rubik's Cube using the beginner's method. So let's get started with step 1. That's cube rotations. Whenever I say F, I mean moving the front layer clockwise. Whenever I say Fi, I mean moving the front layer anti-clockwise. Now that's the same thing for right, which is R and Ri. Left, which is L and Li. For the upper layer, which is U and UI. For the bottom layer, which is D and DI, and for the layer on the back, which is B and BI. So now that you know cube rotations, let's start shuffling the cube. Now that we shuffle the cube, let's get started with step 1 of solving the cube. That's to get the white cross. So to get the white cross, we have to first find a white edge piece like the one over here, and then we have to take the edge piece to the yellow side, which is the opposite of white. Now the color on the other side of the white is red, so we take the reds to the red side, and now you see that the red is connected to the red side, and we rotate it 2 times so that we solve the first part of the white cross. Now that's the same step we have to be repeating. Like we find one edge piece over here and we have to get it to the yellow side. So we rotate the front and take it down. When we take it down, we see that we miss one part of the white cross, but to solve that, we take the bottom layer to one side and then take it back to retain the first solved part of the cross. And now we see that the white is connected to the yellow and the color on the other side of white is orange. So we take the orange to the orange side and then rotate it 2 times so that we solve the second part of the white cross. Now we have to find another edge piece like the one over here, and then to get it on the yellow side, we rotate the front. We see that we mess up one part of the white cross, but that's no problem. We take the white edge piece to the yellow side and then take it back. Now we see that we get the edge piece over here, and the color on the other side is blue, which is already connected to the blue center, so we rotate it 2 times to solve the third part of the white cross. Now the final edge piece is over here and we need to get it on the yellow side, so we take it down. We see that we messed up one part of the white cross, but that's no problem. We rotate the down to the bottom layer to one side and then take the layer back to retain our cross. And now we see that we get the white to the yellow side and the color on the other side of white is green. It's already connected to the green side, so we rotate it 2 times to finally solve the white cross. Now we see that the orange is connected to the orange, the blues to blues, the reds to reds, and the greens to greens. So next step. Now that you solve the white cross, the next step into solving the cube is to solve the white corners. To solve the white corners, we have to first find a white corner like one over here. We see that the color on the other side of white on the same layer is red, so we rotate the reds to the red side like here. And now we see that this piece needs to go over on the top there. So we rotate to get it over there, we rotate the bottom to the left, get the right down, take it back and lift it up. Now you see that we solved the first corner of the white, the greens connected to the greens and the reds is connected to the reds. This is a step we're going to be repeating. Like we find an edge piece over here, color on the other side is red, which is already connected to the red side. So now to get this piece over here, we take the bottom to the left, get the left down, take it back and lift it up. Now we see that this corner 2 is solved. Now we find another corner piece like one over here, and the color on the other side of white is green. Now we take the greens to the green side, and when to get this over here, we rotate the bottom to the left, get the right down, take it back, lift it up. Now we search for another edge piece, and as we are searching for it, we see that the final corner piece is on the yellow side, which is not where we want it to be. So to get the corner piece over on its correct position, which is here, we take the bottom to the left, get it down, and then take it back and lift it up. Now we see that we get the edge piece on the top layer over here, which is still not where we want it to be. So when the piece is on the top right corner like this, we follow this algorithm RI, DI and R. Now you see that we get the corner piece on the right place. Now to solve this, we take the bottom to the left, take the right down, take it back and lift it up. If you ever end up with a case where you see that the corner piece is on the top left corner, then you can just follow the same algorithm. You just follow this algorithm L, DI and LI. Now you see that we get the piece on the correct place. Now we take the orange to the orange's side, and then we see that this piece has to go on top here. So we rotate the bottom to the right, take the left down, take it back and lift it up, and we come to the final part of solving the white side. That's the corner piece over here. The color on the other side of the white is orange, so we get the orange to the orange's side, and to get this edge piece out here, we follow this algorithm. Take the bottom to the left, take the right down, take it back and lift it up. Now you see that we solve the white side, and then we solve the first layer too. So moving on with the next step. Now that you solve the white and the first layer, we have to now solve the second layer. Now the first step into solving it is to hold the cube in a way that yellow is pointing towards you, and then search for an edge piece without yellow like the orange and blue here. Now we see that the orange is facing towards you and blue is facing towards the top. So we take the blues to the blue side, and now we see that the orange needs to go over here where it's need to be. The blue and orange need to be over here. So it's basically from the left to the right. So the formula for left to right is Fi, D, Ri, M, R. Now we see that we messed up the white, but that's no problem because we just solve it straight back by lifting this, and this middle piece needs to go over here. So we rotate this to this side, take it back, get it back, lift it up. Now we see, now this is the step we have to be repeating. Search for an edge piece without yellow like the green and red here. Rotate the reds to the red side. Now we see that the green needs to go over here, and this time it's right to left. So the formula for right to left is F, DI, L, MI, LI. Now we just solve the white again, and then we see that we solve the first two parts of the second layer. Now we search for another edge piece without yellow, like the red and blue over here. The blue is already connected to the blue side. It's right to left now. Now we do the same algorithm. F, DI, L, M, MI and LI. Now we solve the white back. Now we see that we come to the final part of solving the second layer. Now when we search for an edge piece without yellow, we see that every edge piece over here has yellow, and the edge piece which doesn't have yellow is right here, green and orange. So to get the edge piece without yellow over here, let's just assume that we are keeping the edge piece with yellow over there. So let's just assume we're keeping this over there. So it's left to right. So we follow the same algorithm: Fi, D, Ri, M, R, and then we solve the messed up white. Now we search for an edge piece without yellow. We see that we find that the orange and green here. Now we rotate the greens to the green side. It's right to left now. So we do the same algorithm like we did that time. F, D, I, L, M, I, L, I. And now we solve the messed up white. Now we see that we solved the first two layers of the Rubik's Cube and the white layer. So moving on with the next. Okay, now that we solved the white and the first two layers, we move on with the next step that's called OLL. OLL is when we solve the yellow layer out here without disturbing the white and the two solved layers. So the first step in OLL is to hold the cube in a way that yellow is facing towards the top. Now you may have ended up with three cases. The first step is the first case is the inverted L case, like this one here. The second case is the bar case, like this one here. And the third case is the dot case. So this happens rarely, so I'm going to first start up with the dot case now. The formula to solve the dot case, follow this formula: F R U R I U I F I. Now when we do this, we see that we end up with the inverted L. The formula to solve the inverted L is F U R U I R I F I. Now we see that we end up with the white cross over here. We may have some extra corner pieces like one over here, but you can just ignore them. We get the white cross. If you end up with the inverted L case, just like we did last time, we follow the same formula: F U R U I R I F I. If you end up with the bar case like this one here, ignoring these two corner pieces, we see that we end up with the bar case. The formula to solve the bar case is F R U R I U I F I. Now that we end up with we see that we end up with the white cross. Now onwards we have to follow. Now this is the real part of OLL, where we solve the yellow side over here. So there are totally 57 algorithms in OLL, and we end up with basically 8 cases. So this is one of these 8 cases where you see that we end up with the cross only. I'm going to be talking about all 8 in this video. So for this case, if we look around, we see that we find a pair of headlights here. It's called headlights because there are 2 yellow sides pointing towards you. If we look on the other side, we see that we get side lights. Side lights are basically 2 yellow sides which are pointing towards the sides. To solve this, we have to hold the cube in a way that the headlights are pointing towards the left and the side light on the right is pointing towards you. Now you have to follow this algorithm: R U R I U R U 2 R I. Now you see that we end up with the fish. This is called the fish because if you see, these two this acts like a head and this acts like a tail. Now to solve the fish, you have to hold it so that its head is pointing towards you, and then use the same algorithm: R U R I U R U 2 R I. If you end up with this case where you see that these 2 corners are empty but the rest is filled, if you look around, we find a pair of headlights. To solve this case, we hold it so that the headlights are pointing towards you, and then we follow the same algorithm: R U R I U R U 2 R I. Now you see that we end up with the fish. We hold it in a way, we rotate it so that its head is pointing towards us, and then we follow the same algorithm: R U R I U R U 2 R I. We see that we end up with the fish again, so we rotate it 2 times so that its head is pointing towards us, and then follow the same algorithm: R U R I U R U 2 R I. If you end up with this case where you see that these two corners are empty and the rest is filled like this one, we see that one yellow side is pointing towards you and the other yellow side is pointing towards the left. We hold it like this so that the yellow side on the right is pointing towards you and the other yellow side is pointing towards the left, and we follow the same algorithm, RU, RIU, RU2, RI. Now you see that we end up with the last case as before, these two corners empty, and we end up with the headlights. So we follow the same algorithm, RU, RIU, RU2, RI. We end up with the fish, follow the same, RU, RIU, RU2, RI. Repeat it 2 times so its head is pointing towards you, RU, RIU, RU2, RI. If you end up with this case where you see that we have only the cross but we have headlights on both the sides like this, we hold it so that both the headlights are pointing towards this left and right. So and then we follow the same algorithm, RU, RIU, RU2, RI. We end up with the fish, and then we follow the same algorithm, RU, RIU, RU2, RI. If you end up with the fish but this time you see that the yellow side is pointing towards the right, this is just a shortcut, but to solve this we rotate it 2 times so that its head is pointing towards there. So and then we follow this algorithm, RU2, RI, UI, UI, RI. Now that's just a shortcut into solving that case. So with this I explained all the 8 cases that you may have ended up in OLL. Now we come to the final part in solving the cube. That's PLL. PLL is where you solve the final layer here without messing up the white or the second layers or the 2 layers or the yellow. So to solve this you have to hold it. You have to first step in PLL is to search for a pair of headlights. Headlights are basically like what we saw there, two corner pieces of the same color. If you can't find any headlights like this case, we hold it so that the yellow is pointing towards top, and then we follow this algorithm, RIF, RIB2, RFI, RIB2, R2. Now if you look around you should find a pair of headlights like this one here. In this step you can ignore the edge pieces, just look for the corner just search for the corners like this one over here, these 2 orange headlights. So we rotated them to the orange side. Now we see that the headlights are in the correct position. Now what we do is we rotate it 2 times so that the headlights are on the back, and then we follow the same algorithm, RIF, RIB2, RFI, RIB2, R2. Now if you do U once, we see that we have headlights on all the 4 sides and we get one solved side. So to solve this we have to hold it in a way that the solved side is pointing on the back. Now we follow the final algorithm, F2. Now it's a variation between U or UI. But if we do UI, we see that the center is orange and the edge piece over here is blue, and they're not the same color, so it's not UI. If we do U, we see that these 2 are the same color, so this is the correct side. It may be a variation between U or UI, but right now it's U. So let's do it again. F2, U, M, U2, MI. Now we do the same like what we did. If we do U, we do U again and F2. Now by this we solve the cube. Now I'm gonna go off to some special cases. If you end up with this case where if you look around you see that there's no solved side, you have to just follow the same algorithm again. F2, if we do F2, if we do U now, we see that they're not the same color, so we do UI, F2 UI, M, U2, MI, UI, and F2. Now we see that we have one salt side and we have to keep the salt side back and then follow the same algorithm, F2, U, M, U2, MI, U, F2. Now with this I have explained how to solve the Rubik's Cube. So thanks for watching. Please do subscribe and like or comment, and please subscribe for more videos. So bye.